variety of services or components of WebLogic. The first and number one is the Java database connectivity, because we discussed that application must talk to the database to store the data and retrieval. That this is the basic purpose of any application, because most of the applications does not store data in itself, and it is not recommended, and databases are meant for that. So there is a already provided service or a component or a tool, whatever you would like to say, that JDBC, Java database connectivity. Everything is everything has a prefix of Java, because web logic relies on Java. So whatever Java provides, WebLogic has feature to that. So Java has JDBC, JMS, JTA. These all are the features of Java EE, means Java Enterprise Edition. So WebLogic exposes these services to you directly. So your application, you means your application can use these services for their connectivity. So the JDBC, with the JDBC you can connect any database, like I said earlier: Oracle database, SQL Server, MySQL, IBM DB2, any kind of database you would like to use. So you can connect. If you want to connect the certification or the list, so you can have a JDBC or Java Enterprise Edition list. Whatever the Java language, actually the Java Enterprise Edition supports, WebLogic supports all the databases. WebLogic has no exception to it. Means your application developer, the Java application developer can use any database which Java language support. So there is no barrier from the WebLogic that you should use this database or not. WebLogic does not say anything to you. It is your favorite database. Okay, so everything which Java provides, Java configuration to the database, WebLogic provides those kinds of feature. Even WebLogic provides some special features for the Oracle database, which we'll see later. Java messaging service. This is not for the administrators. It is messaging service or the queuing service, which is pretty much essential for Java web applications, and these APIs and implementations are available in WebLogic. Java developers use it to communicate with other applications and other components in their applications. Java Transaction API. Java Transaction API is again a feature or a component of Java Enterprise Edition. It is also used in the application. These things are not directly usable. One thing keep in mind, that these things are not directly usable in WebLogic. Means as an administrator we can't use it. Means if you want to use JMS in WebLogic, you can't use it. These are the features your application will use it. So this is nothing to do with the administration perspective. Just the configuration, availability of these services or components, you can manage, monitor the availability of components. These components means if your application developer says that it requires JDBC, JMS, JTA and other kind of services, so you should make sure that these services are available in your WebLogic. You can also see the status of these services, everything, and configure these things for the application. So coming back to Java Transaction API, it is a distributed API for the transaction, or you when if I say that transaction, it is a kind of thing when application commits any query or data to the database. So it is called transaction. So this Java transaction API helps WebLogic and the application to act as a transaction manager in case of rollback or any failed transaction or failed commit, like your application try to save the data or update any raw or any record, but your database was not available. Means you have read some data or you have done some query, you have read data and changed it. After a change, when you do the submit button or any kind of safe procedure, database is a failure or some kind of error, so the database is not available. So here WebLogic acts as a transaction manager and try to solve the dispute. That is not our topic, how it solve the problem, but to keep the things going, we should move from here. WebLogic Server application example, how things work in details. So this is a typical number one. This is a typical user in the yellow diagram, that it accesses the web application. So I'm again emphasizing on that we are talking about web application, so don't confuse it with any desktop application. Web application is only an application which you access by your browser, any kind of browser. You can have any browser, you can use it by the URL, that is the web application. Okay, so the user hits the web application by any URL, giving URL, and the page opens. So what happens in the background, your web application opens, and it opens or utilize its backend resources. It can be any database connectivity, like the first page can be a login page where you have a username or password. So WebLogic will open that application for you, and you will see the login page. And what your application will do, your application will access the backend database for your credentials, and if your credentials are valid, so you will go on, and otherwise not. So what it does in the background, web application loads, and it will utilize the other WebLogic components, like JDBC for database connectivity. Here message queuing, any kind of messaging is required in the WebLogic. So application will load those modules, libraries, procedures, any kind of thing. And persistence, this is also another concept which I would like you to see later. Just to complete about the persistence is related to that JTA, Java transaction API, in which WebLogic acts as a mediator role and talks about the transaction and the persistent of the transaction. This blue on the right, third blue corner is the database. We represent database in these three circles. Okay, so other applications, other system can also connect to the WebLogic. Now you will ask what kind of other systems. Other systems can be your legacy systems, your desktop application, which can connect to WebLogic server with the APIs. Here we are not installing desktop applications with WebLogic, but we can connect with message queuing, because it is the standard JMS message queuing, and JMS message queuing can be used with Java desktop applications. So you can connect your applications, desktop application, with WebLogic for database exchange. If you would like to have XML reporting or any kind of fancy reporting from the application or database or any connector, because normally in our organizations we use various kind of applications, and we also connect various kind of applications together with APIs and